Hey y'all, welcome back to Naptime CEO. During last week's episode, we talked about why now is the perfect time to start your journey into entrepreneurship and a couple of steps on how to get started. Okay. Today, we're diving a little bit deeper. So if you're ready, grab your pencil and paper and keep it. Some of us will carry good business ideas for months, years. And I know a lot of us are the type of person who keeps saying, one day I'm going to get started. One day I'm going to open my own business. But then life happens, right? Kids, work, bills, self doubt in general, just not feeling like you can do it. And the line for one day, it gets further and further away. Like you just keep pushing it out and out and out, right? Um, well, today is the day we're going to change that. By the end of this episode, you're going to walk away knowing exactly what steps you need to take to turn your idea into something real and something profitable. Okay. And here's the best part, it ain't got to be complicated, y'all. It's not complicated. As I've mentioned to you before, you don't need thousands of dollars. You don't need a fancy website or a perfect business plan to start. You just need to start. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right. Before we even get into filing paperwork or the tools or the tech, okay, let's talk about mindset because this is where most of us get stuck. All right. Here's the truth. Most businesses never get off the ground. Not because the idea wasn't good, not because they lack drive, but because the person behind it was too scared to start. I know that as a single mom, we're already carrying so much. We're the breadwinners, the caregivers, the teachers, the nurses, the everything, child. And this sounds like you. I feel you, sis. So when the idea of starting a business comes up, it's easy to think that it's just too much. If this sounds like you and you're thinking, what if it fails? What if people don't buy? Or what if I look silly? And for moms, I feel like we have a different um type of struggle, like extra shit, right? When would I have time? What if it's a waste of time? What if I can't juggle it all? Child, the gamut. I've been there, okay? I want to challenge you to flip your thinking because let's be real, as single moms, when has not getting what we wanted ever stopped us? Like, be for real, okay? I want you to start looking at your journey into entrepreneurship and starting your business as if you've already succeeded, even with the failures along the way. Start asking yourself, what if it works? What if people love what I create? What if it gives me the freedom, the flexibility, and the income I've been dreaming about for me and my family? Okay. I've set up plenty of nights, okay, on many occasions and thought, girl, just get this shit up. Okay. What, you know, I've thought to myself, I should just work my full time job. I should teach and then I should teach until I retire. But the way that I know I don't want to report every day and that I like being at my own kids' school and I like the freedom I've experienced even attempting full-time entrepreneurship before. I have no choice but to be a business owner, okay? It's deep ingrained in your girl, okay? I remember when I started my first business, I was terrified. I had no roadmap, no experience, and definitely no guarantee it would work. And now this was really before Google was really a thing. Like you could just go and find just about anything. It was not limited as it was when it first started. But it wasn't as good as it is now. Like if you know, then you know. All right. Here's the thing. You don't need certainty to start. You need courage. All right. So and I'm gonna repeat myself, but that's just how important this particular thing. You're waiting for the perfect moment, and let me tell you, the perfect moment doesn't exist. It's now. Okay. All right. You got your mind right? Let's go. Now we're heading into how to actually lay the foundation for your business. Okay. Step one, validate your idea. All right. That's just a fancy way of saying make sure people actually want what you're planning to sell. You don't have to run surveys or hire a research company. All right. Last week, I talked about Facebook groups, and a search there will be a great start. If the group exists, join, start asking questions. Okay. Again, these folks are giving you free information regarding your industry, with some folks even sharing the financials and how to get started in that industry. I promise y'all, these people are willing. You can go off and buy a master class, you can go off and do all these things, but some of these Facebook groups, these people have this is their lived experience. Okay. They're telling you what they've done that works, but they don't work. You always want to take it with a grain of salt because you don't really know, but everything proceed with caution. You're going to do that in your own research. That master class, you're going to proceed after that with caution. So I do want to warn you to proceed with caution, but read what some of these people are saying. Ask the questions, get the answers, and I promise you, it's going to be a lot better probably than like I can't say better than a master class because do what you want, but it may potentially be better than a master class because these people are living this every day. Like this is the industry, okay? Their industry. All right. A simple Google search to identify competition in your area or your niche. And what I mean by competition is folks are really out here owning businesses in that category. And like I said, do not think too small. I didn't realize how big the tiny or miniature business is until I started watching the show. And it's a whole big thing. Like they got whole stores to buy miniature houses, miniature chairs, like all things. Okay. Last week, I said this. Ask the people in your target audience. So if you're thinking of starting a bakery, ask people if they like to buy your cupcakes. A lot of people start with, especially with some kind of bakery, they start by baking to people stuff in general, right? So start there. If you want to do tutoring, right? Talk to parents. Keep it simple. If your kids go to school, I'm sure, unless you have little babies. Um, your kids go to school, so I'm sure there are parents there that would not mind some tutoring because some of these kids really need it. All right. Step two, you're picking a business model. I know the goal is to do this while our babies are asleep, but honestly, you've got to find a time that best fits your schedule. Maybe it's a service you can do during school hours. It's a digital product you create at night. Maybe it's something you can involve your kids with, like make candles or handmade crafts. I have a homegirl who her daughter used to work with her in her candy business, not candy business, but it's like treats. So Rice Krispie treats, um, candied apples, that type of stuff. And her daughter would help her do that. So a couple hours a week, do that. I've already said before, my oldest son has told me every business I've owned, the cleaning company, my clothing store, the rage room. He has been an employee in all three. Okay. The goal is to pick something that fits your reality right now, not your future schedule. Okay. Let me give a little context. In a service-based business, you're doing stuff like cleaning, coaching, photography, etc. In a product-based business, you're offering a physical product like clothes, candles, baked goods, and in a digital business model, you are simply providing web-based downloadables, ebooks, courses, other downloads. I will put a link to my Etsy shop where I've started selling my own digital products for people that are want to get their budgets right and for a bit small business budgeting. It's I do it through Etsy right now because I don't have anything else to do. Um, but I do it through Etsy and it is on my website. So I'll make sure that's in the show. All right. Now, we all know how I feel about product based businesses, but honestly, if this is where you're going to make your money, go for it. Okay. I still say keep it simple and don't overcomplicate the process. Remember, just choose one way to start. You can always add more later on down the road, and we will add more down the road. Okay. Adding more products is sometimes important for scaling. So it's important that we have a future of what other products can come on and what's the strategy or the timeline for bringing those things on. But that's a whole other podcast. All right. Step three, create a one-page business plan. All right, y'all. I know we done seen on 50 page. We done seen the marketing plan that's 10 pages, the financial plan that's 20 pages. All right. You do not need a 50-page business plan with all them financial projections, mission and vision statements, blah, blah, blah. Just one page will do. And all you have to do is answer these questions. Okay. One, what are you selling? Who will you be selling it to? How are you going to sell or how are you going to reach them? Right. And the last thing is, How much will it cost you to start? Okay. Very important. All right. If you can answer those questions, congratulations. You've got a business plan and are well on the way to start it. Because, y'all, we're not complicating the process. All right. Number three, getting official. Okay. Once you know what you're doing, it's time to make it official because we won't be out here blind, mixing finances, fresh. Okay. I ain't having that. Okay. And yeah, I know this part sounds super intimidating, but I promise it really isn't. Here's what you'll probably want that paper and pen for. Okay. It's just 3 steps. First, we want to make sure you're registered with your state. All right. Most single moms I know choose an LLC for protection, but you can start as a sole proprietor if that makes sense for you. So you do what works best, right? I'm in Georgia, and here we go to the Secretary of State website. We pay a $100 fee, and voila, your business is registered with the state. If you are doing a sole proprietorship in Georgia, there is no filing. You just go right into business, and you would go to the second step, which is going over to the IRS website and then getting your EIN. So if you're just doing it as yourself, it would have your name, right? But if you're doing it as your business will get your EIN. All right. It's free and it takes 5 minutes. Okay. So now, what you say about time again? Okay. Okay. The EIN is basically like a social security number for your business. You'll need it to open up your business bank account, build any credit, file your taxes, all of that. All right. Third, open a separate business bank account because we are not going to mix our personal finances with our business money. Okay. This is going to save you a lot of headache during tax season and it makes you look more professional. All right. You can do this with a variety of bank or credit unions, both virtual and physical. So do some research and open the account with the one you like best. And again, this is free. Some of these banks are opening up with a $50 minimum and no monthly fee because they understand growing a business can get costly. All right. And here's the bonus. Once you've got those three, okay, your registration, your EIN, your bank account, you're ready to start building business credit, which opens up even more opportunities for growth later. And y'all already know that building business credit will be a whole podcast. So we not even gonna talk about it right now. But make sure you come on back. All right. Let's do this without breaking the bank. So you're official now. What's next, right? Let's talk about how to actually build your business without going broke. Y'all, if I knew this before I started my first business, I wouldn't be stressed. Okay. But you live and you learn. So I'm going to show y'all how to avoid the mistakes I made. Again, you do not need to spend thousands of dollars when you're just starting out. There are a ton of free and low cost tools and resources. And YouTube University is unaccredited, okay, free, and educating millions of average humans every day. So there's no reason not to know better. All right, for example, graphic design tools like Canva or Adobe Express help with your logos, flyers, social media. I've never had a logo professionally done for me. I've always used back when I first started my first business, it was actually I used Word. Like it was Word and like a picture I found online, and then I just made a JPEG, made a PNG, and made the background. Y'all, it was 2015. Okay, I have no money. I was doing the best I could. All right. Um, but yeah, now we have Canva and Adobe Express. I do know Canva is free. I'm not sure about Adobe Express. I know I get it free because I work at school. So I just use my school Adobe Express, but I teach Adobe Express. I don't really use it. I don't know nothing about it because I use Canva. Okay. You got Google and Microsoft. They help you with creating forms and providing a place to receive and answer emails. Google even has a cool feature where you can use aliases to appear more professional. Again, that'll be another podcast. Then you got your social media. So you pick your platform, whatever platform where your audience is hanging out and show up consistently. This also can be basically a free storefront. So a lot of people are selling through Instagram or through TikTok, and they're telling people to call a number or write an email or something like that to sell stuff because websites can be hard to manage. They can be hard to keep up, and then you got to worry about SEO and all the other stuff, whatever. Okay. I will down this hill because you don't need a website on day one. I know it's very shocking. Okay. You're busy. So there's no need to stress again about building sites, SEO, and meta tags. We'll get into all that later. Right now, you literally start with a simple Instagram page, Facebook page, or even a landing page from a free tool. In these platforms, you can plug into contact forms, booking links, everything you need to start for no money. Just like on Instagram, Instagram has a link. You can put as many links as you need. TikTok, as many links as you need. And that's where your customers can get your stuff, how they can order your stuff. So don't let tech slow you down. It's just unnecessary. All right. Now it's time for us to take action and stay consistent. This is the last step, y'all. How do you actually do this when you've already got so much on your plate? The answer: consistency over perfection, okay? And let me tell you, consistency is what separates the people who dream about having a business from people who actually have a business and are actually running their business, all right? You pick small chunks of time. Maybe you're like me and you got 30 minutes after the kids go to bed, maybe sometime during nap time. Maybe it's one Saturday afternoon a month. I know for me, my sister will watch my youngest baby because he's the one that need to be watched. Maybe a couple hours a day so I can get out the house and I can do what I need to do. It doesn't have to be every day. If you have 1 hour a day or 3 focused hours a week, anything to get you moving. Here's a rhythm that works. One time block for marketing. So you're posting, talking to people, you're spreading the word. All right. You have another time block for the actual work. So baking, tutoring, coaching, whatever it looks like for you, unless it's like a service-based business. So my Rage Room, you kind of have to figure out, it's based on what the customer wants. And then you kind of work your day around that particular time. So if I won't go do anything if I have a mobile Rage Room booking, then that's the job, right? I'm going to get my babysitter for that time slot. I'm going to go do what I need to do because it's a 3 hour, depending on the customer, 3 to 5 hours of work, right? So, and that has to be done on maybe a Saturday or a Sunday, unless it's done during the week. So if it's done during the week, I'll be good because he going to take care anyway. Anyway, and the last time block for your admin. So any banking, emails, planning, that's what you need. That's it, y'all. 3 small time commitments can keep your business moving forward. It's not about doing it all. It's about doing it, okay, consistently. And we don't worry about perfection. You need to be consistent. All right. Let's recap. All right. 1, shift your mindset and believe you can do this. Don't sell yourself short and do not count yourself out. We are not in the business of talking negative to ourselves, okay? Number 2, validate your idea. Keep it simple, okay? Number 3, create a one-page business plan. I do offer one of these on my website, www.naptimeceopod.com. So head over there and get your free one-page business plan today. It'll be up. By the time this podcast is up, it should already be there. It'll be in the free download section. And it'll probably be a Google Doc. Get official with your registration, EIN, bank account, and in some instances, operating at a sole proprietorship again requires no registration. So you're already in there. All right. Number 4, use free tools and don't overthink the process. Lastly, and most importantly, take consistent action. Okay. That is all, y'all. That's how you start a small business. I hope this episode gave you clarity and the push you need to finally get started. Remember, your business doesn't need to be perfect to start. It just needs to start. If this episode helped you, share with a fellow mama who's been talking about starting a business. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Naptime CEO. I can't wait to see the business some of y'all finna create. Okay. Until next time, go take that first step, y'all. I'm not playing. Until next time. Bye.